So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you. I have a presentation now for the reinsurance in Africa. And before start, I will present a very short movie about SCR.
Because what drives us, what transcends us, what makes us carry reinsurance to the frontiers of the possible and beyond. Our mission, our vision, our values. This is the most precious thing we have, our world. What if we build this world united for a more prosperous, positive, radiant, responsible, generous, altruistic, safe future? What if we mark the world of tomorrow with our footprint? Resilience Builder since 1960. We have a vision. Become a reference for reinsurance in emerging markets. Since our creation, we have been raising our ambition to meet the requirements of our clients and partners in Morocco and internationally. Leader in reinsurance in Morocco, we mark with our footprint the national economy by playing a central role in the insurance and reinsurance ecosystem at a national and a regional level, and by being a solid financial institution, enjoying an excellent rating. Operated in more than 50 markets with more than 300 clients, we enjoy 3 contact offices in Côte d'Ivoire, Rwanda, and Egypt, and we have a stake in regional reinsurers. We continue to put forward our know-how and expertise in order to offer the best service to our clients and partners. We are committed to support the insurance and reinsurance market in Africa and the Middle East to offer everyone the best resilience. To carry to the top the greatest achievements of our kingdom and those that cross borders. Achievements made possible thanks to committed women and men who put all of their expertise to provide their clients with reinsurance solutions that meet each of their needs. For a safer world. Being attentive, demonstrating resilience, assisting, planning, evaluating the risks, adjusting, developing solutions, limiting the risk impact, creating value, putting all of our engineering at your service. This is what men and women of SCR do every day. To be closer to you at any moment, in any circumstance. We aim to be inspired and inspiring, to share our know-how, to be supportive around the world through the SCR Academy Ray Foundation, the ideas that have just blossomed towards the path of achievements that we are so proud of. Now, let's visualize the presence of SCR. Are you there? Perfect. SCR is omnipresent around us and in every project of the kingdom. SCR Resilience Builder since 1960.
Okay, so thank you. And I want to present African reinsurance plays a major role at different levels. So reinsurance plays a major role as an institutional investor through its participation at attaining premiums in the national level. From the economic side, through the mobilization of savings in the country's economy, as well as the retention of foreign currency on the African market during a difficult economic context. Reinsurance is a pioneer in the economic area as it contributes to the redevelopment of the business victim of disaster. So, emerging risk in Africa. So, we have a major risk at the raw material of insurance and reinsurance, and Africa lacks the expertise to face such emerging risk as a pandemic, sandstorm, commodities, oil price, political risk, cybersecurity, flood, and industrial fire. So here you have some risk that happened in Africa, and particularly the riot in South Africa that cost about $1.7 billion. And so it's economic, but for insurer, the cost about $300 million. The flooding hit 6 million people in East Africa, and particularly for Sudan. Africa pandemic, Ebola, it's about 11,000 deaths. And COVID-19, it's about 211 deaths. You have also a big risk with the big claims. So, for example, in Sonara, Cameroon, more than $300 million is the cost. And the tropical cyclone that happened in Mozambique in 2021. In this slide, so with the COVID-19, we have an impact for the revision of the cost of the risk, and particularly on P&C, so property and casualty market. So improvement of terms and conditions with tighter wordings, removal of additional covers, significant price increases even with the claims-free programs, increase priority in order to align more insurance and reduce more moral hazard, and more private deals growing risk aversion from the market to drive higher global demand for covers. And also, we have a lack of capacity and no coverage for bad risk with significant historic claims, and a lack of capacity for mining coal and the plant energy coal. So, SCR, we have 4 representatives, rep office in South Africa, Egypt, Ivory Coast, and Rwanda. We are present in more than 50 countries. So Africa as a country, but also Middle East and Turkey, and in Asia markets in order to diversify our portfolio and our risk. We cover in both life and non-life reinsurance branches, and we have more than 300 partners. Our solvency margin is about 175.9% in the referential Solvent II European, and our rating in Moroccan is AAA by Fitch, and with the AM Best is BB+ for the international market. Our rating premium is for 2020 is $295.7 million, and our total balance is $1.7 billion. Our technical result is $19.5 million, and our return on equity is 12.27%. The key milestone in 2021, so we increased our capital from $150 million to $220 million. We launched also a new strategic plan, 2021-2023, and we named We Transform Tomorrow Together. And we are opening a new representative office in Johannesburg, hub in Southern Africa, and we are preparing to implement the Retake-Full in the next future. So, our ERM is very important because we provide resilience for our clients, and we define the key pillar and particularly cover ratio and RORAC and premium for risk, in order to be sure that we can provide a well-solidity financial for our clients. So our tools, sorry. Yes, so we define in our business plan and in COVID, in the period of COVID-19, a combined scenario with the technical stress and financial stress in order to be sure that our cover ratio and the RORAC and particularly a risk premium is still on the green category. So we are very comfortable and we are improving this IT ERM for in order to be succeed for our underwriting appetite. Our vision is to become a reference in the reinsurance industry within emerging markets through a close relationship with our clients, aiming to provide them with innovative and customized solutions for greater resilience. So our net written premium by region, so the breakdown between national and international markets. So we underwrite about 54% for our net written premium in Moroccan market and 46% in international markets. We are the oldest reinsurer in Africa, in the Middle East. We started in 1960, and our turnover is $260 million US. So in Africa, we have a significant difference in wealth and growth with the continent. And prior to the impact of COVID-19, the insurance market was expected to grow at compound annual growth rates about 7% annum between 2020 and 2025, nearly twice as fast as North America, over 3 times that of Europe. So in Africa, of course, you have a lot of resources and is known for its natural resources abundance and diversity. And this map shows the repartition of the resources in North Africa, a concentration of gas, gold, oil, and phosphates, and in Northwest, uranium, gold, and oil, and in Sudan, we have diamonds and oil, and South Africa, uranium and phosphate, and platinum and gold. So solid economic growth in most countries, combined with a largely undeveloped insurance sector, have positioned the continent as the second fastest growing region for insurance globally after Latin America. But you know, in South Africa, represents more than 70.6% of the gross insurance written premium. And the reinsurance market also, in premium estimated at around $8.5 billion US. And it is estimated that the reinsurance headquarters in Africa achieved a market share of less than 25% in 2019 only. So industrialization is progressing, investments in infrastructure are increasing, the middle class is slowly emerging, and its purchasing power is increasing, which has benefited insurance and reinsurance for more than a decade. You have the breakdown between life insurance and non-life insurance, and it's clear that South Africa have more than 80% of underwriting business for life compared for other, and formal insurance covers only the wealthiest top 10% of the population in East Africa, with the remainder having to face the risk of the death of an income earner, illness, and property damage by themselves. So, we have 5 imperatives for insurance companies to succeed in Africa. The first, choose expansion countries wisely, focusing on cities. So by 2025, Cairo is projected to account for 37% of the total GDP in Egypt, and Nairobi will account for 27% of Kenyan GDP. It therefore makes sense for insurance to focus on specific growth. The second point, target unique customer segments and needs. While leveraging the power of partnerships, insurance companies can drive innovation across products and channels to meet unmet needs and reach unserved customers. Partnering effectively can be a vital factor here. The third point, focus on digital and digital enablement of the agent to increase reach and productivity. The COVID-19 crisis means that digital first for customers and intermediaries is no longer a choice but a necessity. Build capability to unleash Africa's talent. Africa is set to see a larger working age population than either China or India by 2034. Collaborate with the government and the regulatory bodies to help shape and reform the agenda. There is a significant scope for insurance to collaborate with the regulators on issues such as social security, solvency, compliance requirements, as well as around tax benefits of life savings and the pension products. Insurance has also have an important role. The 50 largest reinsurance in the world, which reported a 5-year weighted average return on only 6.8%. The average SCR is 12%, while Sub-Saharan has always offered diversification and profitability to reinsurance. Growing competition and rising acquisition costs have reduced the attractiveness of this vast market. Indeed, even if the volumes remain modest on an international scale, the previously high margins have continued to decline, and you have the cession rates in Africa, and the Morocco is at 11%, and it's clearly that the Moroccan insurer is well capitalized for this matter. Main opportunities in and risk in Africa. So we have opportunities because we have a growing middle class, increasing urbanization, population growth, new technologies and digitalization. It's an opportunity. And for the risks, we have a problem with the security, policy uncertainty, interest rate, and declining commodity prices. This is a verbatim for the last report, 2021, in Outlook Insurance. Authorities must make more insurance compulsory, an increase of the capital of insurance, which is very low in some countries, strong supervision authority to protect the local insurance market for key parts of the insurance of a big portion within the country. No prime, no cover, setting minimum standards in respect of information that can be shared, the reports we get becoming more reliable. So I want to mention some opportunities in Africa in order to be more developing solution in Africa. And microinsurance, is not a specific product or product line. It is also not limited to a specific provider type. Microinsurance is the provision of cover to a specific market segment for low-income class. So it's an opportunity in Africa. And Africa is home to over 1 billion people, and it's estimated that around 400 million of them still live in extreme poverty. According to the report developed by Microinsurance Network, Landscape of Microinsurance in Africa in 2018, the insurance market in Africa is very fragmented. Despite the role that insurance could play to recover and contribute to its economy, insurance for retail business is largely undeveloped. Only 2% of the estimated 700 million low-income individual is covered with the microinsurance product for a total of $420 million in premium. And credit life and funeral products make up around 60% of microinsurance markets. So, African digitalization insurance is opportunity via mobile. So, in 2000, there were less than 25 million mobile phones in Africa. Today, it is estimated that over 67% of the population has a mobile phone, and 27 have a device that can access in the internet. Microinsurance in Africa is experiencing drastic growth. However, the market is still in its infancy, with a market penetration of only 2.6% of the population living under $2 per day. In this slide, I want to mention a very beautiful project that our government launched, the mandatory Moroccan catastrophe risk insurance. So this mandatory Moroccan catastrophe risk has two components: natural event and human violent action. So he covers the earthquake, floods, tsunami, but also terrorism, riots, or civil commotion for insured and non-insured. So it's a very well scheme that takes a time, but he will design it with the insurer, with the financial ministry, in order to provide this type of service. And the contract concerned with the mandatory extension is property insurance, motor damage, motor liability, and bodily injury liability. We have also other opportunity how we can develop Africa for a new guarantee that's the replanting guarantee. So farmers in many developing countries are extremely vulnerable to risks associated with weather conditions and climatic events, since the level of the harvest is largely determined by the timing and the amount of rainfall. So to overcome or even alleviate this problem, a parametric microinsurance product backed by agriculture inputs has been implemented in Africa and India. And here you have a video that explains an example of success story in microinsurance in Africa. Okay, so So, for example, for the replanting guarantee, at the start of the season, the farmer buys a bag of specific fertilizer from an approved supplier. The farmer opens the bag and finds the replanting guarantee card, which contains a unique code and a phone number. The farmer dials the phone number and follows the instruction to activate his coverage by communicating the code provided. He then receives an SMS confirming that his coverage is activated and geographically located. Once a fixed number of days have elapsed from the activation date, the insurance automatically decides in the following ways without the insurance farmer having to react. So thank you very much.
Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour. Merci.
Good morning.
Je vais plutôt m'exprimer en français.
I will be speaking in French because I feel more comfortable speaking in French. And I had the chance to test the skills of the interpreters who are handling the translation today. So allow me, please, to speak in French. I would like to welcome you all to this presentation in order not only to promote Wafa Assurance, but to speak about our ambitions and what we would like to build in Africa, knowing that the African continent and for SMEs, this is a normal expansion to us, natural expansion. So I said I didn't want to promote Wafa Assurance. However, I would like to show you our identity further, our position today, and our geographical presence. We are present in 6 countries in Africa, including Morocco. In the whole presentation, you will see that we are the leading insurer in Morocco and Africa, excluding South Africa, with a robust financial performance. And we have $40 billion of revenues in Africa and in the southern part of Africa. So you can see that our focus is mainly Africa and the southern part of Africa. Since last year, we've been classified as second among the insurance companies in the Arab world. And this is based not only on the GWP, and we have thousands of employees in the African continent, and 1.1 billion of consolidated GWP in dollars, and 1.7 billion USD market capitalization. So we are proud to be also the leading insurer in Morocco, which is our country of origin. And we are also proud that as of 2012, we decided to go international. And within 18 months, we've been able to become #1 in life insurance in Tunisia. I would also like to remind you that we are also part of Almada, which is a major privately owned Pan-African investment fund. In Morocco and in the hosting country, which is the United Arab Emirates. The shareholder structure by Almada has been expanding, and today we can say that we are diversified, and we have a lot of ambitions in the African continent in the fields of energy, telecommunication, real estate, financial services, factoring, and others. So this is in brief Almada, and Atijari Wafa, which is the first banking group in Morocco and Africa, with more than 20,000 employees in the world and around 5,000 agencies, and we are located in 25 countries. And I can also say that we have been able to achieve an NBI of 2.2 billion euros, a total asset of around 542 million euros. And this is now the most important slide concerning the business of Wafa Insurance. When we talk about insurance, we talk corporate, individual life, cars, vehicles, and all of these are important part of our work. We are also proud at Wafa Insurance to say that we are leading in some of these pillars, mainly individual life, corporate, and we are also gradually focusing on other activities so as to include as many business units as possible. So far, some of them are still modest in terms of volume, but it's only natural for us to continue to expand and evolve. So I would like to start with the international insurance. 10 years ago, we were not present. We decided to focus on the Moroccan market, to expand our presence in the Moroccan market in terms of insurance, and the only company that hasn't witnessed a merger between two companies. So our growth is just organic, and this thanks to Almada and our shareholders. We started going east to Tunisia and then west to Côte d'Ivoire and Egypt and other countries. So this is what we decided to do. Many of the countries or many of the companies tend to focus on their strength points, such as individual life and vehicles, but we decided to expand and include more pillars and branches. So individual medical and assistance, which is currently 30 million USD in revenues. And this is the basis of our growth and expansion in the Egyptian market. Today we have a license that includes health insurance in Egypt. And our presence on the Egyptian market goes hand in hand with our individual medical and assistance pillars. I'm going to describe a bit each of them. Assistance is about cars or vehicles that need support. And we have also the medical assistance, which is something that we give a great importance to. So as we know, Africa is witnessing a great expansion of the middle class, and the healthcare has become an integral part of the needs of these people, and in certain countries that are more sophisticated in terms of what they offer in terms of health. So we are trying to cater to the middle class in Casablanca and in Tunisia, and to also include the hospitals in Paris, maybe Dubai and other countries. So we decided to segment our healthcare service starting with the inclusive insurance or assurance, up to the premium healthcare packages that can go up to $4,000 or $5,000 with a very high ceiling of coverage. So we have this assistance service and the individual medical. All of this allows us to help repatriate any national that is in need of medical support in one of the countries. So we were lucky and we had the chance to work with many operators in France, and we have partners in several countries around the world. So in 2020, we were able to conduct 156,000 operations of repatriation around the world in order to benefit from the healthcare services from Morocco to European countries for intensive care or in order to treat other difficult conditions. In terms of individual medical, this has allowed us to be present on the Egyptian market and to gain the trust also of the Senegal authorities and the Ivory authorities and other authorities in the continent. So this is very important to us today, and these are pillars that are growing in importance in the future. I would like now to conclude with a focus on assistance. As you know, our banking group has been focused on assistance in 25 countries, including 22 countries in the African continent. So the bank has naturally decided to present offers to the diaspora, African diaspora in Paris and in other countries. For example, people from Gabon based in London. So this was just a natural expansion of our work to include these segments of the diasporas from several countries. And today we have been able to help with the repatriation of corpse. And this is part of our work in Morocco when there are cases of death. So these offers are limited to Morocco and are gradually expanding, and this will allow us to cater further to the needs of our clients within our partner banks. With the Postal Bank in Morocco and with At-Tijara Wafa Bank in Morocco. So these are our main pillars, and of course this leads us to the inclusive insurance, which doesn't target the emerging middle class, which represents a big percentage in Africa and which will be the main segment of consumption in the African markets, but also the most vulnerable classes. in the southern markets. So we decided to target all segments of population that so far haven't been able to receive any assurance package. So microinsurance was related to microfinance. For example, if you have a creditor that is in need of funds to cover his credit, we would come to help. And this is the part of our expansion during the last few years in terms of microfinance. But today, we are focused on other segments, and we're not focused on credits only, but also contracts with little traders, small businesses that do not have access to the traditional healthcare services and hospitalization services. So this will allow them, in case of hospitalization, to benefit from a guaranteed capital based on the number of hospitalization in order to rebuild their stock, and if they were traders in terms in case of fire, for example, and to be able to be covered in hundreds of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars to allow them, in case of fire, to be covered for any reason and to be able to overcome these incidents. So these are assurance packages that are focused on health and life insurance, and that target these segments of society. And most of these people are experience solidarity within their families. So this is very important for them, and this is something that you don't find in other countries. What does this mean? It means that their main concern is to protect their families. And here we have a series of choices starting from $6 a year that allows them to benefit from a guaranteed capital for parents and for kids. So if you combine this possibility of products related to death and other offers that are also related to the repatriation of corpse with these products that come under the inclusive insurance, we can say that we are almost covering all the needs that have been identified in this segment of population. So this is another interesting case because when we started in Morocco, in Tunisia, and in the Ivory Coast, the issue of death was a taboo and all products related to that. But so far we have been able to sign more than 500,000 contracts that are currently active in these 3 countries and that cover this product related to death. So we can be proud of ourselves for creating this product. So imagine a member of a family passes away, and on the day, if the person is in Morocco or in the Ivory Coast, and this issue is very important for families. So in this case, and immediately we provide cash in order to go ahead with the procedures. So we have established a product with the same entrance ticket, which is $6 a year, which allows these families, in case of a death of a relative, to receive cash immediately in an amount that is equivalent to $1,000, and that can be received from one of our partner banks. For example, the National Bank in the Ivory Coast. So this gives you an idea of what we offer in terms of these services and the cases of death and the certificate of death. So the family receives the cash directly, instantly from one of our partner banks. So this is something positive, and I think that this is our main source of pride today, that we have 500,000 active contracts in several countries, including Egypt. So I'm sorry because I went into the details, but I wanted to give you an idea about our ambitions in Africa. This is our presence today on the continent and our ambitions in the future. So you can see that in the life insurance we have a very good presence in Morocco, and in other countries such as in Tunisia, where we are #1. In Senegal, we're #3, #5 in Ivory Coast, and #5 in Cameroon. The non-life, and these are activities that require a slow constitution. We have been present in Senegal and Ivory Coast. And we have started our operations, and in Cameroon we have bought a company that had a share of the market, and we have increased our share in the market. So to summarize, we have high ambitions in life, and in non-life we are also looking forward to expand our presence, mainly in Egypt, which is a huge market and which is equivalent to $2.4 billion in terms of this sector in Egypt. Other than Egypt, we are also looking forward to be among the top 3 in other countries. And we are looking forward to be among the top also in the non-life insurance. So, as I told you previously, we have started not long time ago with $8 million, a bit less than that. And here you can see the recent developments, as we've had an official launch of Wafa Life Insurance Egypt, and Wafa IMA assistance was granted to the agreement to operate a reinsurance representation office for assistance in the CIMA region. So this will allow us to achieve our previously described ambitions to diversify our assistance medical presence. So this is what we would like to become, and I will speak about the impacts that we were happy to see in the countries we expanded in. So we would like to cover 70% of the insurance market in Africa, excluding South Africa. And not only to be present there, but to be able to partner with the stakeholders, and we have had the opportunity to do that in several countries. For example, tomorrow, if we would like to work in Mali from Senegal, we will be able to do that thanks to our partners. However, what we would like to do is to target the countries countries that are of interest to us and that witness an interesting growth rate. And gradually, and thanks to our presence in Egypt, look at other Anglophone countries, because so far we've been focused on Francophone countries. And I think that Egypt would be a good starting point so we can move towards Kenya, Tanzania, and Nigeria. So 70% of the insurance market in Africa. And I haven't mentioned here, in Nigeria and Tanzania will be markets that we will be targeting in the future because of the markets are quite delicate in terms of implementation and presence in these countries. And we are aiming to cover 65% of the insurance markets there. So this is what we are looking forward to achieving in the future. Now I would like to invite you to look about our contribution to develop the local insurance markets and to build on everything that has been achieved in the African continent. We have the opportunity to be able to continue to be successful in several countries around this continent. In Tunisia and in Senegal, we started from scratch in life insurance market premiums. What we did is to look at the portfolios of other competitors and create products that are out of the box. Because usually insurance companies focus mostly on the death premiums, but and this has been seen historically. And these operators gradually become negligent. So what we try to do is to present offers in several sectors in partnership with some countries as in the Ivory Coast. And to reach out to stakeholders that are not part even of Almada. And the commercial performance are sometimes higher in some types of products. I go back to Tunisia to tell you that we started in 2010 and our growth rate was around 11%. And then we launched the Tijari assurance operations. This is when we started gaining 5 points annually in terms of growth. So we are just an operator that came to disturb some of the habits that were trending on the market. And these products that are well known in Tunisia and Morocco today allow us to become leaders, and we have become an example to be followed by many of our competitors. In Tunisia today, the market of life insurance has seen its turnover multiplied by 3.5. So this is also another source of pride for us. We presented new products without disturbing the activities of our competitors, and this will allow us to expand our market share on the African continent. And this also applies to our presence in Senegal. We've had a growth rate of 20% during the last 5 years, and this is when we launched the Assurance Life Senegal operation. So this is what I wanted to share with you. I'm not trying to promote Al Wafa Assurance, but I'm just trying to elaborate more on our ambitions and shed light on our partners such as SCR that has accompanied us in Morocco and Senegal and in other African countries. Even at the stages of negotiation of treaties. So the SCR was with us ever since we started. So I would like to commend you. And we are looking forward to see you expand further on the African continent. Thank you very much.